All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look at 11.1, areas of triangles and parallelograms. So, we've got some new vocab that we're going to put up on the board probably starting tomorrow. Postulate, area of a square postulate. The area of a square is the square of the lengths of its sides. So I like to put a picture next to it. I've got a square. It's got sides that are the same, so if you do s squared, that equals the area. If two polygons are congruent, they have the same area. That makes sense. The area of a region is the sum of the area of its non-overlapping parts. So for example, if I have a square with a triangle on top, the whole thing is the area. The area of the rectangle is the product of the base and the height. So if I've got a rectangle, I've got base, that would be height, and base, height times base, equals area or length times width. Either way. The area of a parallelogram is the product of its base and corresponding height. So just be careful with a parallelogram. It's not the slanty part. It's right here is the height. Height times base equals area. The area of a triangle is 1/2 the product of its base and corresponding height. So again, you guys should know this already. Yep. Base times height times 1/2 or divided by 2 is the same thing for the area of a triangle. Okay. All right. I hope you guys have calculators out to help me out here. All right, we've got a parallelogram. We've got this is 30, this is 20, and this is 17. What is my base and my height? Because I know base times height equals area of a parallelogram. So what am I going to label as my base? 30. What am I going to label as my height? 17. Good. So can somebody do that for me? 30 times 17? 510 units, because it doesn't say if they're inches or centimeters, squared. Questions about this? Okay, how do we find the perimeter? Because that's the area, and the other part is the perimeter. So this is 30. We know it's a parallelogram, so this is 30. So what's this up here? If this is 20, then the other side is 20. So 20 plus 20 plus 30 plus 30 is what?
100.
It's 100? 100 units. Remember, you don't do squared when you're doing perimeter. Okay? So we've got our area. We've got our perimeter. Okay, let's try a triangle. What do you want to find first, area or perimeter?
Area.
Area. What is the height?
5.
What is the base? How am I going to solve it? What kind of triangle is it? Pythagorean theorem, because it is a right triangle. So 5 squared plus x squared equals 13 squared. 5 squared is 25. What's 13 squared?
169.
And then I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to get x squared equals what? 144? And what's the square root of 144? So x equals 12, so this is 12, which is my base. So I do 1/2 base, which is 12, times height, which is 5. So I get 30 units squared. That equals my area. What about my perimeter? 30, because you just added up the sides. Huh, that's kind of weird that the area and perimeter are the same. That doesn't mean it's wrong. Sometimes that'll happen. Let's turn it over. All right. The area of the triangle is, the base of the triangle is twice its height. The area of the triangle is 36. We want to find the base and height. H represents the height, 2h represents the base. Okay, so we're going to say 2h times h divided by 2, or times 1/2, equals 36. So let's first get rid of that 2 on the bottom, so we're going to multiply both sides by 2. Remember, when that happens, you guys don't do this all the time, those 2 cancel. And we get 2h times h equals, what's 36 times 2? What's h times h?
2h.
Squared. 2h squared equals 72. How do I get rid of that 2?
Divide.
Divide. H squared equals Yeah. How do I get rid of that square?
Square root of
Square root it. So what does h equal?
6.
It equals 6, or what else could it equal? Negative 6. But which makes sense? 6. So 6 inches is the height. What's the base then? 12 inches base. That's it. That's the whole lesson today. So let me put your homework up on the board. Because I just stuck in the formula. Right? Because it's height times base divided by 2 equals the area.